Anne Hathaway received a regal welcome from moviegoers everywhere with the 2001 release of The Princess Diaries, a funny coming-of-age story about the unpopular girl who becomes royalty overnight. Well, now she plays the title role in the modern fairy tale, Ella Enchanted.
What do you think you're doing to that poor elf?
Oh, who's this who thinks she's so tough?
Look, I think it's only fair to warn you that I'm practiced in the ancient art of origami.
Paper folding?
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't know what that was.
Don't let him scare you, sweetheart. Kick his butt. The rabbit punch. Combo. Kneel. Front step kick. Dragon roundhouse kick.
Anne Hathaway, good morning. Hi, Anne. It's such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much. You too. My mom is so excited that I'm here.
Oh, really?
Hi,
Hi, Mom. Well, my daughters are very excited that you're here because we're all big fans of yours from The Princess Diaries, and now you're doing Ella Enchanted, which is based on a book, and I want to give due credit by Gail Carson Levine. And I know that my daughter Ellie has read the book. Had you read the book before you started this project?
Yes, I had. I was given the book to read a few years ago, actually by Miramax. They said they were turning it into a film. And I was actually really annoyed with myself that I hadn't found it before then, because after I read it, I just was astounded. It instantly became one of my favorites.
They took some poetic license, though, with the book, because Ellie was watching the movie and she said, Mom, this is supposed to be in medieval times. And I said, well, it is, but it definitely has a modern twist, a modern take on the story, right, in terms of the movie?
Definitely. I mean, fans of the book probably will notice a lot of differences, but I think the book is so beautiful on its own, and I think the film works really well on its own, and they are connected, though, by the same character, and by the same kind of sense of fun and freedom and kind of the belief in magic. It's a good movie.
It's sort of a twist on the classic Cinderella tale, too. You know, it's amazing to me that the Cinderella story just never seems to grow old and tired. There are new takes on it all the time, and children and grown-ups, people just love that story.
They do. I think it's a fun one to revisit because there's something really safe about a happily ever after, and really liking that. But also, I think it's wonderful to rediscover it as we kind of get older and can add new perspectives to it. It's wonderful to introduce that to children.
And I so think that people like it because there's such a clear delineation between good and evil. I mean, the stepsisters are so wicked and so awful.
They're pretty
and
bad
deplorable.
in this one, too.
They're so nasty. I hated them so much. Well, the dumb one you can't hate. You just feel sorry for her. But the awful one is just...
She's just cruel.
Cruel and disgusting. She's like everything an obnoxious teenager is,
and to give Lucy Punch credit, that's all a performance. She's the loveliest girl in the entire world. We actually got to be very good friends during the course of filming.
I know you've compared this or described it as a combo between sort of The Princess Diaries and Shrek. The sort of the funny lines in it, I think, borrows a little bit from that, don't you?
I think definitely the fact that it's kind of making fun of the fact that it's a fairy tale, or maybe not even making fun, but the fact that it's aware that it is a fairy tale is definitely similar to Shrek. But it's still very, very different as well, and well, in a lot of ways, one, it's live action, so that's kind of the main one.
Right. It's not animated. And why don't we tell people briefly what it's about? Because I mentioned it's a take on the Cinderella story, but it's about Ella Afrell.
It's about Ella Afrell, yes. And instead of Cinderella, the Ella character, being a sort of a girl who's very good and, you know, patiently does chores and is kind of waiting for someone to save her, she's a girl who actually, the day she was born, was given a fairy gift, the gift of obedience, but it quickly proves to be a curse, and she has to do everything that anyone tells her to do, and she gets into a lot of really kind of bad situations because of it.
Right.
So she makes the decision to go off and break the spell herself. And I love the movie. I think it has a really great political kind of undertone about what it means to be oppressed and how to overcome that and why it's not a good idea, which is a good message for
and what it means to be a woman who's empowered to basically take her destiny in her own hands, right?
I noticed that too when I was reading it. I'm like, am I the only one noticing a metaphor for the glass ceiling right here? What's going on?
Instead of the glass slipper, it's the glass ceiling. Well, I have to say you do a fantastic job, not only of acting in this movie, but Missy, you have a nice little singing voice.
Thank you.
And we've got a clip of you showing off your vocal abilities, singing Somebody to Love. Let's take a look.
Got no feel, I got no rhythm. I just keep losing my beat. I'm okay, I'm alright.
She's alright.
There's no defeat. I just gotta get out of this prison cell. One day I'm gonna be free.
Somebody,
somebody,
somebody.
can anybody find me somebody to love?
That's, of course, the famous song by Freddie Mercury and Queen.
It's no small feat, by the way, to say, like, okay, I'm just going to cover a Freddie Mercury song. No problem whatsoever. I was so scared.
You did a great job, and I love the music they picked for this movie, too.
Thank you. It was completely by accident, because actually the character of Ella wasn't supposed to sing in that scene, but we wound up, they asked me to do it, and I said only if we could find a great song, and so it wound up being a Queen song, and that sort of was the inspiration to have a lot of 70s songs and to have covers for them.
Well, it was great, because, of course, they were all songs from my high school years, so it was like a trip down memory lane. You're 21 years old, and I have to say, I so admire the fact that you have not sort of succumbed to the trappings of celebrity and sort of the sleaziness that seems to attract a lot of young actresses these days. I'll probably get in trouble for saying that. But
we don't judge. We don't judge.
But how have you kind of resisted kind of going in that direction? Because I'm sure there's pressure on you too, right?
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. To be perfectly honest, the reception that Princess Diaries got floored me. I was so flattered, but I was also really scared because all of a sudden my life just got a lot bigger and I didn't feel ready for it. So it was really kind of no decision whatsoever, and I thought the best place for me was back at school. So I went back to college where I am currently.
Can I ask where you are?
Yeah, I go to Vassar. So and so I'm a sophomore, and so I've gotten a few semesters in, and by trying to, and that's really, really grounding for me. I know it's so cliche to be like, well, that keeps me grounded, but it makes me always kind of rethink who I am and what I want, and because of that, I feel like I can do better work, and it makes me rethink whether or not I actually want the whole celebrity thing, because it's a nasty little beast, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I have a little taste of it, and it's tough, especially for someone who's young.
Well, it's very confusing, and there's a lot of different ways that your head can get turned, and you can go down false paths, and you get distracted from what you really want. So.
Well, what's up next? What's next for Anne Hathaway?
What's next for me? Well, I've just completed Princess Diaries 2. There is going to be a sequel.
Is Julie Andrews in that one?
Julie Andrews is in it. She is amazing.
How much do you love Julie Andrews? She's
well,
the nicest person.
I always loved Julie Andrews, but I really love Jules too. So she's.
Oh, it's Jules.
It's
fine.
Jules. I get to call her
me,
Jules.
It's Julie Andrews. So you've got that. And are you working on anything else? Or?
Yes, actually, I was just cast in a role that I'm so excited about. I'm going to be doing Ang Lee's next movie called Brokeback Mountain.
Cool.
Yeah, it's with Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal and Michelle Williams.
Not too shabby.
I'm
very,
very excited. I sort of feel like I just am allowed to be in the cool club right now, and I'm like, me? Cool, awesome.
Well, I think it's great. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you very
and best
much.
of luck to you. And keep your feet on the ground, because it seems like you've got a good head on your shoulders.
I'm trying. Thanks.
Anyway.
We are back now, 8:40, with Oscar winner Anne Hathaway, who is part of the all-star cast of the new movie Ocean's 8. She plays Daphne Kluger, a celebrity whose priceless necklace becomes a target of a heist at the annual Met Gala. Take a look.
Penelope Stern? Is she even old enough to go to the Met Ball?
Apparently.
Who cares who's dressing her anyway?
I think page 6.
I never met with Rose Vile. You said I met with everybody.
You said she was a relic.
I meant iconic.
Do you want me to set up a meeting?
Yes.
Oh, my God, I love you in this movie. Anne Hathaway's with us. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Congratulations on sitting so casually. I haven't figured it out
By
yet.
the way, we have long legs, and these chairs are not good for
with
girls.
my hands or
girls
this
like
way, and then
us.
I'm like, am I blocking your camera? So anyway, we're working on sitting. It's a very successful morning.
So far, we're doing great.
We're doing
By the
so
way,
well.
Can we talk about the cast in this movie? Sandra
Please.
Bullock, Kate Blanchett, Mindy Kaling, Sarah Paulson, Rihanna, Helena Bonham Carter, among others. It's just a wow cast.
Did you say Rihanna?
I said Rihanna, of course.
Rihanna.
Think about, what was it like, very first day of shooting, looking around at this incredible bunch of strong women? What was that like?
Oh, man, it was incredible. I didn't want to miss a minute of it. So normally, if I've worked with people I've admired, like these women in the past, I maybe would have felt like, oh, I don't want to annoy anybody, or I don't want to make too much of a fuss, or I don't want to make the wrong impression. And this one, I was like, I want to look at the view. I want to enjoy it. I want to take I don't want to miss a minute of this one. And so I just was like, what if you, I don't know, just could be friends with them? What if you were enough today?
You know what's funny? A lot of
and
people,
I let it be that.
A lot of people might look at this cast and say, wait, these are strong, powerful women. They all have egos. They all have but that was not how this thing played out at all.
It's been really amazing to watch kind of the way certain members of the media have wanted us to fight each other and the way they've wanted there to be competition and they wanted there to be cat fights. But we were all collaborating, you know, all the time. And now we're friends and it's just, we genuinely love each other and we're so there for each other. Like, it's a beautiful thing.
Now you're
And that's actually, I think, what female friendship is.
Yes.
That's what it has been in my life, and I don't know why I thought that it couldn't be that at work. I guess because I was fed this myth. But I mean, but we all have had an experience that disproved it, you know?
I do think you're right about how sometimes the media wants to see a fight. And I think any of us, and for Savannah and myself included on this show, like, we actually like each other. We get along. We like working together. We cheer each other on. And Savannah and I sat down with a big group of you, and we're going to show that next week. But we actually saw that in action, and you guys really did become friends. Your character is so funny. No, she's bad. She is so Did you love playing her?
Yes, I did. It was so much fun. It was so fun to play this ridiculous person who doesn't care about anybody else.
Over the top celeb.
So over the top.
Did you pull from
bougie,
different
beyond? It was just like, it was just so fun. Were you about to ask?
No, I said, did you pull from anywhere?
No,
no.
I didn't.
Is just a made-up character.
This is.
Yeah.
You know, I've been in this business for close to 20 years, and I've gotten to observe what people think celebrity is going to be like, and I come from, you know, a very down-to-earth family, and if I ever tried to pull any of this stuff, they would have
slap you. It'd be over.
Something, man.
You said something. You said something in Glamour that I liked. You wrote to your followers, and you are gaining weight for a movie role, and you said basically to the people who are going to fat shame me in the upcoming months, it's not me, it's you. So you are gaining weight for a role, and you just wanted to like kind of let people know, back off.
It sounds kind of sad to say. I just wanted to be able to enjoy my summer and let everybody know that I'm living in my body and I'm happy with my body. And if my body is different than what you're used to or what you think it should be, that's yours. And my experience is mine and I'm loving it. So,
did you have you ever been like fat shamed in real life? Did people say things to you? I don't know.
Is that a real, like, yes.
Yes?
All the time. All the time. And, you know, in kind of the ways where it's overt and people say things to you. And then there's kind of, you know, micro ones where people, and then there's this one of my favorite things about what's happening in this moment. Is that a lot of us are looking at the language that we use to choose, and we're becoming more conscious about it. So maybe someone thought that it wasn't a big deal to say to a 16-year-old, this was what happened to me. Congratulations, you got the part. You can't gain any more weight.
They said that?
Yeah, maybe they thought that, you know, they were giving me some good advice, but now, 20 years later, I'm able to say, like, I actually think that could have been done more consciously and more loving, and it left me feeling confused. And yeah, so I think that we're all learning how to communicate. Maybe not all of us, but a lot of us are learning, are taking up this opportunity to become more conscious and more loving in the way we communicate with each other, more compassionate.
Well, this movie happens to hit it.
Not Daphne.
Yeah,
Daphne,
exactly.
no,
She's
not
by herself,
Daphne.
your
She's
character.
not that.
By the way, this movie is hitting at the perfect time for women. We're so happy for you. Thanks for coming to see us. We appreciate it.
So good to see you. And look, we figured out how to sit.
We did. It
we
took us the
relaxed
whole
into
segment.
it.